What's up guys, Mike Trubetsko from EOL Studios here, and today I wanted to talk about creating diversity in your songs, in your material, in your new music. Now, why do you want to create diversity? That is clearly because your listener will follow your music much easier and much further and will get your message much deeper if they are captivated with a dynamic and more interesting song rather than just a track which repeats sections by sections all the time. Now, in my opinion, there are two types of possible diversity that you may work on your song. There is micro diversity and macro diversity. Now, micro diversity is a level of changes that you may introduce on each bar, on each note. That is something really small, tiny little details that you may change over and tweak to make the song really pop. Whereas macro diversity is more about whole song and its sections. For instance, if you have multiple verses, you may change them over somehow, you may have pre-choruses different, and you may vary the choruses as well. Now let's talk about how can you make this happen in your songs. Talking about micro diversity. Now if we have a riff which goes something like dun da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun. That's something that I see a lot with my clients or other musicians. They take a riff and repeat it 4 times identically. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it creates a hypnotic effect, or sometimes simplicity is desired. Maybe some other elements of the track contain the required diversity. However, in many cases, this creates just quite a bland, boring section of the song. Now, what I recommend doing is changing over the repetitions of the riff just slightly. So we have second and fourth repetition, which we may play around with, and the third repetition may stay the same as the first one, or just change a little bit, so that it may go up like dun da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun. So in this example, we've made the second repetition climb up, first repetition stays the same, third repetition goes down, fourth repetition stays the same. So this actually creates sine-like dynamics in the riff, and that is attractive to our brain as human beings. There are obviously different ways to work around this. Sometimes you may add a harmony on top, which was missing before, or you may add different drum rhythmics. You may go half time or double time. But this is something to look for when you're working on your tracks, and just keep in mind that if you spice up and work on your repetitions, repetitive riffs, and diversify them a little bit, they will come across better, more and captivating for your listener, and just more exciting. Now, if we talk about micro dynamics, that's a little simpler. Say we have 2 verses which come up in the song, and they are obviously the same. You may add up few different elements, like background vocals. Maybe you add a different kind of harmony, additional harmony in the second verse. Or maybe you add a background lead guitar, or a pad, a synth. Or maybe just go half time on the drums, or double time on the drums. Things like that. Again, these are details, these may seem minor details, however they are not. They really make the song translate to your listener better. So I encourage you, guys and gals, to have a look at it on your next tracks, listen to them critically. These may be your demos or guitar profiles, and just try to work on these sections and see if diversifying them can really help your song to pop and translate more. And if you want to talk more about that, just send something to me, and I'm more than happy to advise on how you could do that with your track. Of course, I'm always available here for you for a chat. So, guys and girls, thanks for watching, and hopefully you find it helpful. Cheers.